Hello, we're continuing with the set of 100 books about art by Knowledge Publications. The set is titled The Masters. So I'm pulling out them one at a time. We've done 10, start with number 11. They're numbered individually, number 11. So this is Duccio, I think is how you would say it. And it's looking to me like painted from 1400. Never heard of him before. Should have heard of him, never heard of him. Okay, Duccio, Italian I imagine. I'm wrong, it's earlier, 1255 to 1318. Siena, that is the town in Italy where they have a lot of gold on the pictures. That's just a simplistic remark about Sienese school. Heir to the Byzantine tradition. I'm thinking icons, I'm thinking angels, that sort of look. Okay. So he's an old artist, early artist. This is a Sienese panel showing the Last Supper, and it has these icon style halos on their heads, and it has the heavy brows and big hairy eyebrows that you get in Eastern icons. Yet it's migrating towards the Last Supper picture, which we all know. And it was part of a lot of little panels making up one image. So plates number 1. I think they're worth going through individually. I can see from the photograph it's on wood because there are cracks in the picture showing the gesso underneath the paint. And I'll read it out. This panel came from the Church of St. Cecilia at Crivole and is so far the earliest work that's generally agreed to be from Duccio's hand. Okay, blue robe. It's an unusually painted robe. You've got lines in it which probably do not portray lines on the fabric. They probably portray just highlights and make it look folded. I'm wrong. I think it's actually on the cloth because you've got this decoration on the head. Some Madonnas later on, rather like that, end up with a cross on the head and pearls, which I've always thought strange because the area is supposed to be poor. You have a very young Jesus with a very old man's hairstyle, receding hairline. So that's a very curious head of Christ. You've got very simple hands, which are probably not well painted, to be honest, but they are what they are. Visually they go well because they're sort of curved and they fit in with the rest of it. Okay, I'll shut up about that one. Next one. Fabulous gold leaf. On wood again, showing a fabulous throne. Rather like the next one, which also shows some sort of seat or throne. Lots of reds in that one, like the Russian pictures, the Eastern Russian pictures. They're icon-like, for sure. Almost for Florence. In the style of Cimabue. Each of those is flanked with 6 angels, probably archangels, but not necessarily archangels. This one has a seat or throne as well. and a background which looks like Islamic tiles are not Islamic tile because it's a Christian icon. We have 3 monks in this one. Okay, 5. The Annunciation. (1308). From the high altar of Siena Cathedral. It's on a panel because there's a crack across the front of it. I don't know whether it's on plaster or on wood, I can't tell. It doesn't say. The panel has been cut down at the bottom. We've lost the feet, or past the feet, and the bottom trim of the building. So this is really lovely old stuff. That is a fabulous thing. 7. And I can imagine what that would cost to buy. The Virgin Child enthroned. So I suppose what they're saying is once Mary has Jesus, she's a queen of sorts. I mean, I've seen around Malta, they refer to Mary as Maria Regina, and do portray her as a queen, so I suppose in Italy it will be the same. You've got a blue hood with a cross on. You've got some decoration to the blue cloak. All these apostles will have names. I don't know them. That is a pope probably, or a clergyman of some sort with a mitre hat and a crook, bearing a cross, as a lot of these individuals are. And the congregation includes females, which is not common. Female, 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 female. Sorry, V1118. Wooden panel. St. Ansano with Savino, Vittore and Crescenzio, the guardian saints of Siena, 1308. It's a close-up, so that doesn't show all of the saints. So we've got a lot of red, fantastic jewellery, script on the bottom, beautifully painted costume. So there's some variety here. Number 9, deposition from the cross, which I probably would describe as descent from the cross more frequently. I suppose it is descent from the cross as well as deposition from the cross. There, undoing his bindings. He's been helped off the cross by his family with the use of a ladder. 10. St. Catherine of Alexandria. With a green background which shows through, which they call terre verte. Okay, I learned something there. Next one. St. John taking leave of the Virgin. So again you have a Mary with a cross on her hood and a brooch, and is morphing from a peasant refugee virgin to a queen. That's my interpretation of it. I'm sure it's not correct, but that's my interpretation of it. The entry into Jerusalem. Okay, so we've got medieval looking trees, which are distinctive. you've got a pitched roof, which you don't get in Jerusalem. So it's an Italian version of what they think Jerusalem should look like. You've got a city wall with arrow slits, a gateway, donkeys, a procession. They're holding palms to place down. Fabulous picture. They're picking branches off these trees. A lot there. Beautiful thing. It's very, very, very powerful stuff. Okay, we'll do the next one, which is number 13. It's the Passion of the Christ. This picture shows the other two characters being crucified with Jesus, the thieves. There were more than 3 crosses, I believe. Some, because I've seen sets of crosses for sale with a higher number than 3 crosses. So I'm just guessing. I'm not a scholar about the crucifixion. I'm guessing there were more than 3. The blood is coming from where he's been pierced in his side by a Roman soldier. So it's mid-crucifixion, and it's showing rather unusually 2 separate clumps of people, and they are as follows: the persecutors of Christ, who were the Jews and the Romans, and there are the family of Christ. So he was the king of the Jews, given that title in mockery, and he was asked by the Jewish hierarchy to be killed, and they of course had to get the Romans to agree, and the Romans were reluctant apparently to actually have him killed, but they did actually agree in the end to have him killed. Fabulous thing. Gold background. Okay, fishing. You can see a fishing net. So is it Galilee XV? No, it's not. It's Tiberias. The appearance of Christ on the Lake of Tiberias, 1308, on wood. So this is a beautiful picture showing fishing from a small craft. That's unusual. We have Jesus on the left. And the fish are beautifully portrayed, some caught, some not caught. The paint is rubbing away, crackling up. So you have this redness underneath, which is going to be Bola, red clay and glue, which they would have used to stick the gold on with. That's fabulous as well. Last one, 16. The angel forms a prelude to more suave and delicate angels of the Siena Maesta of 25 years later. So this is an early angel. It's an adoring angel from Italy. It's now in the Uffizi in Rome, which is a gallery in Rome, and it shows there's a name for this. I can't remember what it is. It is Mary sleeping or dying. I think it doesn't actually say what it is in the book. I can't recall what it means. I think it is when Mary dies, she's offered a painless transition to heaven, and I think you've got God and Jesus here who have come down to take her up to heaven. She's lying passively and quietly and comfortably. I think that's what it is. I might be wrong. I don't know what this thing is. Is it a fan of some sort? Is it a palm? I don't know. So there's clergy there, and there's non-clergy as well. Those two are angels because they have wings. Okay, so we've done a fairly heavy booklet about Duccio. This is the earliest artist I've done in the books so far. I think that they're extremely moving, original, powerful, colourful images, and are the forerunners to a great load of other stuff later on. To collect these things is wonderful. We have got nothing, of course, of this age, but we have got icons, and you can see in the icons we've got all this sort of iconography, all these sort of faces. The icons we have are Victorian icons, some of them are pre-Victorian, none of them are medieval, but they are copies. Obviously the later ones are copies of medieval icons. So we've got, I don't know how many we've got, a dozen of these sort of things, which look similar, but they're of course not as old, as I say, not as valuable, because icons were mass produced by everyone, and still be mass produced now. These aren't all icons, but they're icon-ish. Okay, thank you.